Let me try again. Okay, now we are live on YouTube and we can start. So I don't know if everyone here knows me. I'm Sofia. I'm 26 years old and I'm from a small city in Minas Gerais, but I'm currently living in São Paulo and I'm a host here on TNT since August 2020. So I love being here. I think TNT is a great place to meet new people and to talk about a lot of things. And I hope you guys enjoy the meeting today. I'm sending the questions on chat so we can guide our conversation, but I always like to say that we don't have to feel stuck to the questions I send. We can create our own questions and we are free to talk and to chat about whatever we want. If we want to talk about other thing, we can. But I really want to reflect a little bit about creativity and how this is an important thing in our life. So this is the main purpose of the topic today. And to start, I really want to know you all so we can know each other better. Can you present yourself, Heitor, please?
Sure. I'm Heitor, I'm 38, live in São Paulo either. I'm work with IT, married with a little son. And I'm here on TNT almost 3 months.
Oh, great.
So, yeah, I'm a TNT baby yet.
Yeah, babe, but you already passed the
experience.
The experience time.
I'm a contractor now.
Yeah.
I
Good
think
to have
that...
you here too.
Thank you, Sofia.
And you, Letícia?
I'm Letícia. I'm living in Porto Alegre. I'm a software developer. I've been in the Talk and Talk, I think, 1 month. 1 month and then 1 week. I don't remember. And I like this place. It's very good, these topics.
Great. Philip is bringing a lot of developers to TNT.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's doing it. I think he's talking a lot with you guys.
I'm stay here because I participate in a webinar when Philip talk about the Talk and Talk.
Good. Good. Nice to meet you, Letícia. And you, Claudio, are you there?
Yes. Hello, guys.
Hello.
So my name is Claudio. I'm 38. I'm from Guarulhos, São Paulo, and I work with IT, but I work with infrastructure, manage servers, and what else? I have been attending classes in TNT since January. I stopped for a while, then I attend some class, but when I have time, I'm here to enjoy the prop plan with you guys.
Great, Claudio. Nice to have you here. Gustavo, you?
Good evening, guys. Can you hear me?
It's a little bit bad.
I don't know why it's raining a lot in the city.
Oh, it's the rain. Yeah, we another sound in the back. I don't know what it is, but I think you can talk. Let's see.
I try to see. But I'm Gustavo, I'm 26 years old. I'm from São Paulo State. I am talking for almost 3 months ago. I'm gonna try to go to the notebook to see together.
Yeah, I don't think I can understand everything you said. I think the word is ending over there, maybe. It's a lot of noise in the back. But nice to have you here, Gustavo. And you, Sarah?
Hey guys, good evening. So I'm Sarah. I'm hostess here on Talk and Talk. I live with my family. I have a dog. I really like to hang out and with my friends and read. Maybe I'll drinking some beer as well. And I'm really interested in this topic. That's why I came. Really
Great.
Good choice.
Great. Nice to have you here, Sarah. Thank you for coming. So, guys, I think we can start. The first question I brought to us is, what is your process of starting and creating something? Okay, Gustavo, it would be great. So, how is this process for you, creating and starting something new? I think each person has a different way of doing that and a different process, and I really want to hear from you. How is this process for you? Who wants to start? It's a conversation here, guys. Don't let me talking alone, please.
Okay, I'm starting.
Go on.
For example, in my professional, it's common I have a brainstorm with my team, with the clients and the people stay in a room with the whiteboard and talk about this situation. For example, if you improve a software, if you create a new software, you use the techniques, for example, design, think, and the other things to talk about the product, for example, the digital product, and this, when you explain the clients, for example, or the stakeholders explain what they think and what they do with the product, and when I listen this, I think about any topics about the code, the infrastructure, the architecture, and the clients. When the users will use this, and I think it's put in the post-it in the whiteboard.
Yeah. This is a very good technique that is being used a lot for many companies and employees, right? I already use this technique too here in my job, and it's not IT, but it's a very good process to brainstorm and create together with other people things, and I like a lot. And you, Ito?
I think I'm not a creative person. I'm more technical, and I have for example, if I would create a software, I think I will have a lot of problems with that, because I think the idea is like a shine, then you give sometimes, I don't know how to say, instalo,
Yeah.
maybe, but I could work with just thinking new products or new features. I'm more a technical person, I think.
But I think we have already passed through the situation where you had to create something new, or you have to start something new in your life. How is this for you? Like, I don't know, maybe when you have to start to, to start to work, or to start to doing an exercise. How is this process in your life, starting something new?
Yeah, that's a fun fact about that. Sometimes I want to start to produce, I don't know how to say linguiça in English. Maybe, yeah, I develop a new flavors
sausage,
of
maybe.
sausage. Yeah, never mind. But I developed new flavors about that. And I work in a brand, in a web page, in a, well, embalagem, another word, then I don't know how to say
package.
That. Yeah, package. And I think about everything, but I forgot to think about my budget, because it's very expensive product sauces. And I give up in the first month, unfortunately. And after that, I go to the IT market. For me, what's really, really best, not work out with sauces. Thanks God.
I love this story. Very good. Hello, Gustavo. Welcome back. Say something so we know
Good
if
evening
you.
again.
Oh,
Now it's better.
now it's
Oh, yeah.
perfect. You have
Compared
a
to before,
super microphone there and you were not using it.
I was on the cell phone. I was trying to do on the cell phone.
Okay.
That's not work, I suppose. That wouldn't work.
No, now it's clear. Great. We are talking about the first question that I sent on chat. I'm sending here again so you can
Oh, thanks.
have there, okay? What about you, Sarah? Sarah. My tongue always.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it either. Sometimes I say like Brazil, sometimes like American. Anyway, be comfortable to just pick one.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I was reflecting here. I didn't have much of a chance to be creative at my previous jobs, just following some steps that I needed, but maybe some personal projects. Last year I worked with sales, and I had to create some content for social media. And the process, it was searching, doing research to know, because I wanted to make sure the information was right, and it was really good for people. I was interested in sharing something to teach, and not only to sell, but you can know more about skincare, you can know more about healthy of your sunscreen and makeup. How can makeup be good for you, not only your appearance but your self-esteem, psychologically speaking as well. So I was creating based on this research. And most recently here, I gotta be creative with the topics. I try at least. So I like to watch TED Talks and listen to podcasts as well, a great source of inspiration for me. And I just let it flow. Sometimes have to correct something, but it's normal. I really prefer to act like this, because if you hope it comes out perfect, you won't do anything. You just have to start, and then you make your adjustments.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this process of creating the topics to bring, it's very interesting and challenging, because sometimes we know the topic you want to talk about, but it's difficult to create like 10 questions to talk about it in one session. Sometimes I just create some of them, then I come back and create another's. And I think we have a process when we have to create something. It's not like immediately you come up with the best solution or the best thing. So I think you have to respect this process. And one thing that I really like to do is to follow inspirations and benchmarkings, and depending on the situation, right? But I work a lot with inspirations. I always try to look something close to what I want to do, so I can see a reference and try to create my own or try to adapt something. So this is my process. And yours, Gustavo?
Yeah, in my case, as you, it's hard to think just like in a blank paper and you imagine stuff by yourself. So I need to
Yeah.
be inspiration as well. So I try to follow some inspiration guide to see that if I can do or I can try to do something different. But in IT area that I work at, as IT, I'm a lazy person, so I always try to think in some stuff to let my work be easy and not to do a lot of robotical things like repetitive stuff. So I always try to think, oh, I need to do this and this for me not to do this anymore. So yeah, try to skip some stuff because yeah, I don't like to be repetitive in doing something. Uh, in my day life, what I do in my process of creating stuff, I need to think in something and I put on the paper and I put like step by step or some
Mhm.
resume and I put there and let like 2 or 3 days, and I read again and say, I don't know if it's that, or I can change this and that. So that is my way of trying to create something, because I thought before of something, and in the future I'm gonna think something different, a little bit different or totally different. So I like to review what I think, what I thought before. And
This is interesting because you start answering the second question, that is, do you usually plan more than try, or vice versa? Because this is a way somehow you plan how to create or start something new. You put in the white paper and then you come back and check again what you want to do, right?
yeah. I don't know if everybody answered, Leticia, because I wasn't getting the jump here, and I don't know.
Yeah, everybody answered the first question. And you have colleagues here. Heitor and Leticia are also from IT area.
Oh yeah, nice.
I was saying that Felipe is bringing a lot of IT people from for TNT, Sarah. All
Wasn't
the
Philip, it
meetings.
was dollar and euro.
We need English to work. And the thing is, we need to learn English to understand the Indian guy explaining stuff for us.
That's
Oh
That's
right.
gosh.
Yeah, oh my God. We should have a course for that. How to understand Indian guys.
it's hard sometimes, but they help
Yeah,
us a lot.
the next step is to bring Indian guys to TNT to talk with you. So
Don't do that, please.
uh, and you guys, Heitor, Leticia, Sarah, do you plan or do you just try to do things? Do you have this step of planning first when you want to start or create something?
I think using both. Depends I more usually my job this process in the thinking, in the create anything or solve any problems, but I usually think in this step by step. For example, probably I remember in many times I divide the problem in pieces, and I try to solve this or create other things in divide the other pieces, and I plan, I draw the solution, and I try again, and or try again, or I return the solution, and I think it's different, and I talk in the other people's about validate my ideas or receiving the other ideas. I think it's both. I use the both sometimes.
Good. Heitor, and you?
Well, I'm always think more than action. And sometimes I think until give up of the idea. So maybe you start to think about the problems involved with this idea. For example, I will develop a new product, and I start to think about that. If someone buy that and want to, I don't know how to say devolver.
Give back.
Give back. Why should I do? And sometimes I give up of this idea because I don't want this kind of problem for me. I just wanna follow my simple life, and sometimes it's a problem actually.
Yeah, I can imagine. And for you, Sarah?
Yeah, I would say I'd like to plan more because I think I would have better outcomes for the things that I do, but I just do it, just try to discover how it works better for me. For example, with the social media posts, I realized I could have done a better job if I had a calendar with the content, to organize better and feel more productive. So I'm trying to plan more. I'm using the Google Calendar now. I know there are other apps that are better to handle information and tasks, but I wanted to start simple, so I just using Google for now. I would like to plan more because I studied for this, but in reality, if it is something that I'm not too interested in, I don't like to spend more time thinking about it, you know? So here, for example, I have my hours planned to October 10th, like 10 days away from now. But with other things, I just let it for the last minute, or don't plan how I should. So it's a problem for me.
Yeah, I think sometimes we have to just do it and see how it goes, and then go back and see what we can improve on it. Because if we keep just planning and planning, sometimes we just don't do anything and let this idea behind. So this is a problem too. So we have to find this balance between planning and doing, and this is very difficult to find, but I think that's what we must follow, because that's what you were saying. Sometimes we just realize that something could be better before we do. So why don't do to see how it goes, and then going back, and it's a process. I really believe on that. It's important. And guys, have you ever left a good idea because the people didn't support it, like the person in the video I showed for you?
I think not because no one support my idea, but because I think about that and realize that wasn't a good idea. Maybe, or sometimes you didn't talk to anyone about this idea and start to think about, and okay, let me think, develop some new thing. And sometimes you just realize that's a bad idea. Even you support yourself, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think this happens a lot with many people, that I don't even believe in my idea, so I'm not going to sell it. Oh, I think Heitor lost his connection, but we can keep going. Anyone here?
Not a good idea. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, because we need to sell it to see if it's a good idea or not. But I think that what happened is, when you want to try something new, I don't know, some martial arts or some place that you want to go, and someone said, "Oh, that's not a good place to go," or it's not the right way to do, and you give up, and you not even try to do that. But sometimes you're just selling your idea for the wrong person. It's like, if you're gonna sell them, I don't know, action figure to me, I don't understand that. So you can offer, oh, that's an action figure, there's, I don't know, $1,000. For me, I don't understand. I'm gonna say, I buy it, it's nice, but I buy it for $50. So, but if you let this action figure to the right place, you're gonna sell it for the right price. But I don't understand that. So maybe you are talking with the wrong person in the wrong place. So it's hard to say that's a good idea or it's a bad idea. I think we need to try. We need to try to see if it's gonna work, and the most important, try if you believe in that it's gonna work or not. Because I think it's sensational. I don't know.
Oh, you brought a very good point of view, because sometimes it's just that the right person in the right moment, and a lot of things have to convert to the things go right. So it's very important to you have to believe, and you have to pursue this idea and how you can make it happen.
And
Very
hard to
good.
say, because you can try to sell to me. I say, no, that's a bad idea. But you're selling for other person, that's a bad idea. And the other person, no, that's so nice. I was dreaming with that. So you don't know. Maybe you need to try and try and try until you believe that. After you forgot, not believe that anymore. So I think that is the time for you to give up, because you don't believe anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just not about the people. It's about the right time and the moment to come up with something, It's a lot of things involved. Great. And you, Leticia? Have you ever left a good idea?
Okay. I think I'm a person and like solving problems. In my career, for example, I receive any clients, they have a good ideas in their minds, for example. But when you build the software and the product and you put in the outside in the clients, it's not so good because you need to validate any things. But when I solve the problems, for example, in my job, I have a lot of ideas, and in most of the time I didn't support it. Sometimes I try by alone because I needed to see if my idea it's good or not. But in the other times, I talk with the people because what is not support me and what's the problem with my good ideas.
Yeah, and sometimes we know exactly what we're thinking about, and we know we can visualize the thing, but we can describe it well, and the other person can understand. So it's difficult because to make it happen, you have to work on it and spend a lot of hours on it to the other person really understand what you are talking about.
And sometimes when you put you put in the code, for example, you get the idea in your mind and put the code, it doesn't work. Oh yes, they have it. They is good about this. My idea is bad.
Yeah. Hello, Heitor, you are back. We are talking about if you have ever left a good idea because the people didn't support it. It's still this question, okay?
Okay, I died, but now I'm okay.
Great. And you, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Heitor because sometimes I don't buy my own ideas, you know. I'm always second guessing myself. Oh, what if, you know? But I just remembered when I was about to start college, I wanted to. I don't know if I really wanted, but I was considering going to letters, you know, to study Portuguese and English literature. But my mom is a coordinator. She worked as a teacher, and she and my dad, they were like, oh, being a teacher is too complicated, you know, it's underpaid. They didn't say don't do it, but the conversation wasn't so, you know, appealing to work with this. So I decided to study administration, but right now I'm still thinking about, you know, letters because I really like to study, to write, and to read. And English has been a great part of my life that I actually enjoy more than my job. So maybe it could be, but I don't know if I'm brave enough to go back to college, you know, maybe just do a course, a short course and see what happens. But college is a huge challenge. You have to do an internship, and I don't know, take the bus. It's my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
That's my confession.
Thanks for sharing, Sarah. And something happened to me like you, because when I was younger, I grew up like doing a lot of sports, and my parents were teachers and physical educators. So I grew up doing all kinds of sports, and I loved that. And I was very sure that I was going to be a physical educator too, but my father and my mother just tell me, don't do this. This doesn't give money to you. So search another thing. And I searched because that time I was not confident enough that I really want to be a physical educator, or was just something on my mind because this was my reality and the people who I used to be with. So I'm not a physical educator nowadays, and I don't know if I should be, but I know that I love sports, and this is a very big part of my life. And I think sometimes it's difficult to really and hard believe on yourself, because we never are 100% sure about anything. We always have a lot of variables, so it's difficult. It's a very difficult thing. And I'm not the most confident person in the world, but we do have a lot of persons in this world that are so much confident, and they can, follow this idea until the end. But do you think there is a moment that we have to understand that we have to stop and stop following this idea? That is a moment that we have to stop, or no? And how to find this moment?
It's hard to say, I would tell. And what you say, what it was saying about there's a lot of person that say, no, that's not a bad idea, but this and that that's gonna happen is a bad idea. And you say, oh, I think that's not a good idea, but
Yeah.
it's your life, you choose. But this and that's gonna happen, that's a bad idea, but it's your decision. So I say, I don't know. But about that, I think it's sensation. I don't know. I think if you see the history, Albert Einstein, for example, did a lot of mistake until get something, invented something. Uh, and I don't know if they give up in some moment. Maybe he couldn't invent it, or anyone could invent that. But I think that like sensation. I think you're gonna try. You believe that's gonna happen. You believe that you are following the right path. You're gonna get something in the end. So you need to follow, because there's a lot of people gonna say no, that's bad, that's good. They don't know. You're gonna be broken. You're gonna be broken if you continue with this idea. So I don't know. I think it's hard to say what the moment for you to stop.
I
I
totally
think
agree.
yeah, I think it's everybody need to see and try and say, I don't know, you believe that and try. Not I think all the time, but try and step, think and try again, try to do other things, go back again, try again what you're trying. I don't know, it's hard.
And you, Leticia, do you think there is a time to stop? Or have you ever passed through the situation where you decide, oh no, now this code is not going to work. I know, I'm sure about this. I'm going to change.
I make a lot of mistakes in my career, in my life, and I'm a persistent person. And sometimes, and I try different things in the same, or different things in the others. And sometimes I stop, okay, my solution is not so good, my idea is not so good. But I think when you are a persistent person, you try anytime is when you understand if you change the process, if you change any variable to do anything. I think it is.
Yeah, I agree. And you, Sarah, what do you think?
Knowing when to stop, it's really wise, when you have this perception. I was thinking about self-knowledge. If you know yourself, know your limits, maybe you can tell, oh, this is making me exhausted. I can't handle with the situation anymore. Maybe if you are doing something and you are excited to see what happens next, okay, but if it comes to a point when you feel overwhelmed, or, oh my God, I can't take this, anymore, maybe it's a good sign for you to stop and do other stuff.
Yeah, I will remind this to the next question I want to ask you guys, but first let's listen to Heitor.
I always try to have a plan B. Unfortunately, I'm not a very confident person. Then I always be think, then, okay, it's normal, something not go well, and I have to get a plan B. And when I told about make sausage, it's funny because my plan B is went to the IT market. So, well, as you know, my plan B worked. So my plan A doesn't work, unfortunately.
Yeah, the good thing that the plan B worked and you like it, right? It's a good thing for you.
It's a nice thing to have two plans, and one of them it's be a good plan. Okay, you have a crazy plan, and you have a good plan, unfortunately, instead of the plan A. So I always think about the variables of this, the what can you do. For example, if I do that and get worse, so doesn't make any sense anymore. Maybe I'm not start from zero of another thing. I have another plan. I always start this plan, and if something get wrong, I just move the plan. So that's my case.
And how to know how far you can go? Like, do you like to challenge yourself, that?
I think when I start to lose money, it's time to stop and move to another plan, because I think it's all about money. When you start to lose, then it's a complicated situation.
Well, but I have to say, if Felipe had stopped when he started to lose money, we would not be here, because we passed through a very difficult time in the beginning of TNT without any money, and Felipe was persistent in this idea of TNT, and I think the fruits are coming now, you know, the good times are coming now, and it's still in the beginning. So I understand that sometimes when we start losing a lot of money, we just can't continue because we have to live and we need money for that. But sometimes this is the not main objective,
The things are it's gone bad. Yeah, I agree with you, but I think it's hard, difficult to distinguish that when stop something and start another, or keeping going. Sometimes it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be well.
Yeah,
it's very hard decision to take.
Yeah, and I think this has a lot to do with Sarah was saying, because when you get to know yourself and you have this self-knowledge developed, it's easier to understand how far you can go and how much you can challenge yourself, right? And you, Sarah, do you like to challenge yourself? How much?
I agree with myself. So just about the self-knowledge as well. But I would say I'm not so much of a risk taker. I try to believe a little more in myself. And the fact that I'm here, it's a risk that I took in the past, you know, but big risks, I think I'm not such a fan. I try to keep things simple, and just sometimes it's important, but it's not my style, you know.
Yeah. And you, Gustavo?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I was saying, you guys said, losing money, it's a point as well, but I don't know, the stress that you are passing, the things that are happening in your life, and maybe you are in the wrong moment, like you said about Philip. Maybe like, I don't know if they was in the right moment, in the wrong moment, but pass a little more time and there's a boom, talkie. I remember like the Kodak they create the digital camera, but they didn't believe that because the guys need to touch the photo, need to put in something, and they forget about it. They create like one or two cameras and said, yo, that's nothing. And they didn't see in the future that's gonna be some place that you can put the photos. And yes, if they believe that, it's gonna be a total company, great company today, and it's almost forget about people about this company. We almost don't remember that company. So that's hard to say. For me, I think if you are investing something, the time that you lose money, it's like the time you are trying to get experience, but you need to put the limit how much you can lose. That's safe for you.
Yeah.
Uh, that the time that you are trying to get experience and try to understand what you're trying to do. But yeah, it's hard to say because if you ask someone, gonna say no, you're losing money, so give up. Maybe you're right, maybe the person are wrong, or the opposite as well. So I don't know. I'm gonna say that sensation. I think if you believe, go on and try, and until you believe. You stop that and stop. Don't try anymore.
Yeah. And you, Letícia?
Uh, I like challenge, and for example, in my life, I try any things, and I think when you challenge by yourself, it's possible to improve yourself, and you learn with making mistakes, for example, because you make mistakes in any parts of your life, any parts of your career, and I think the main point when you learn this, it's a big point. You try again with other bagagem. I don't know the names in English. If you talk about business, for example, many people's there is a plan. For example, when you talk about losing money it's not forever in your life, and you try, and if you understand your market, you understand your clients, you learn about this, you plan when you change your your business, or you understand the new challenge we will to do. And I think it's an important point you improve.
Yeah, thoroughly. And now, changing a little bit the point of view, let's think about our process of learning English. Any of you guys started learning English when you were already an adult, or you started learning when you were younger, like child?
In my case, I really started when I was 21.
One.
21.
And you,
Uh,
Leticia?
I started in the 2004, 5. No. I started English in 1010. I think 1010. And I try any times I will. I travel abroad, and I try again to speak more English.
Yeah, and you, Sarah, when you started?
I had classes in high school, but just verb to be, irregular verbs, this kind of stuff. Some things I still remember out of the blue, they came up to my mind. But in really studying in 2020, that I had a lot of free time during the pandemic, so I decided to want to speak more, and improve my communication.
That's interesting. And you, Eto?
I have 3 months of class, maybe 10 years ago, to travel to USA. And now I start again because there is some new in my life to work abroad. So I have to take class again. But I hate to have English class. It's very uncomfortable for me not be able. I don't know how to say that.
Uncomfortable, yeah.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very uncomfortable to me, not be able to communicate well. So I don't know. Sometimes it's very hard to be here, but I just thinking about in dollar in account.
Very good. But I'm asking this because I think I think we can say that we all here can already communicate in English. We are having a conversation here for more than 50 minutes, and we can communicate. And when I think about when we were starting, I think it was a time when we have to start something new, and it's a process very difficult because you know where you want to get. We want to communicate and be fluent in English and make people understand us, but it's a process, right? We can just sit down and in 1 week we are just talking and talking. We have to practice, we have to study, and this has a lot to do with our topic today, because starting something new, it's not just innovating and creating something from scratch. Sometimes it's just a thing that we have to develop in our daily routine and in our life, so we can do another thing that we want. So I really want you to say, how was this process for you of learning English? Because as Heitor was saying, it's not comfortable for him to have classes, but you are here talking in English, and you can communicate, and you need this for your work. But how was to achieve this moment? You had to persist a lot and to study and to do something you don't like so much, but you now can talk in English, and this is very good. I think this feeling, when we realize that we can communicate. But I don't know for you, but for me it's never enough. I think it's never enough. I always have to improve, and I always have things to learn, because it's not our mother language. So it's a very long process when you never can stop.
I remember when I started studying English, I in the class and just the grammar, and when I arrive in the class, I don't speak. I only speak the books on the table, and just only and just only, and I try to explain. For example, I'm very shy to talk about other people's, but when I learned parts of the English, I travel abroad, and it's a big challenge for me to talk in the other people I don't know before, and I don't see it before in the other culture, in the other knows. Okay, and when I return, I stop the study English for a long time. I think 6 years, and I started again to study English and speak. And now I put in my mind, I need to talk. I make a mistake a lot of the time. I know more of the people don't understand me, but I try. And I think I change my mind about this. And I use the other tools, music, podcast, and watch movies. Sometimes I don't understand, and I don't have idea what to do, but I'm trying. And I think I'm a persistent person, and I change this.
Thanks for sharing, Letícia. Very good. And you, Heitor?
It's pretty hard when you start to learn about that, because it's not in my plan to be fluent in English. I just be able to communicate another persons from abroad and be understand. So I start to put a limit in that. Okay, I just learn it until this point, because in this point I'm able to work abroad. I work to talk about my job and what I have to do about that. And I think it's that a difficult point to understand. Okay, I'm not want to be fluent because I will be spend a lot of years to be fluent, maybe 4 or 5 years. I just want to talk in English and talk about my job to abroad persons. I think I try to put that limit.
That's good. That's good. And you, Sarah?
For me, the realization that I'm speaking and I'm being understood is the best part, that which gives me motivation, you know. So I took some classes with a teacher during the pandemic, and it was really good for me because I've never had spoken in English with anyone before, and I was really shy. I couldn't. My face was always blushing, and I was really nervous. And it was the first step. And now I'm here every week speaking with more than one person, and it's really different because before I knew him already, and I knew about how the class was going to be, kind of, because I knew his style. But here you have a lot of surprises, different people, different styles, senior professionals, junior, you know, and it's a lot of diversity, and I really like to be in this environment.
Yeah, very good. And you go.
Yeah, when I see my progress, I think it's a little bit crazy because I didn't know anything in English, and the first time that I understand someone speak English on the YouTube, and the first time that I talk with someone abroad in English, I say that's crazy. I wanted to give a backflip, to do a backflip because I was glad, because it's a lot of noise in the beginning. It's a lot of noise understanding thing, and my goal was, oh, I would like to express my idea in English and understand others in English. And now I can do that. Obvious, I need to improve my English. That's obvious. But my goal was that, like Ether said, there's a limit. My goal is that. I know that I can improve that. But for me, it's okay. I can watch series in English, can do anything in English. I cannot express myself in the best way. Yeah, that's right. But in Portuguese, sometimes I can't express myself in the best way. So maybe I'm doing some presentation for someone and say, "Oh, I probably need to do that, to speak that, but I forgot." So that's normal. That's okay. But I really glad with my progress.
Very good to hear all of that, guys. Thank you. Our meeting is ending now. I'm sending on chat our survey so you guys can give me your feedback and suggestions of topics for us to bring to you. So please answer it. It's very important for us. And I think good evening, everyone. Good week. And I hope to see you guys again here again.